going over two-step word problems. We did this in the past. Who can remember with sales tax and cash back? That's in lesson 83. So you want to flip back there if we have trouble. That's breaking it into two different steps. Drawing it out, we drew it out with some examples, but we have practice two-step word problems that involve finding total cost. This was the sales tax and then the change back. So the sales tax, what was the example we had to do there with the sales tax? Did we have to find the sales tax or was it given to us already?
Yes.
Yes, Sammy? It was given to us? So then did we have to add on the sales tax or subtract it from the cash back? Did we have to find our total answer or final answer then minus the sales tax? Yep. So this was an example of a two-step word problem. And another example was a cash back. We didn't know how much money we started with, so we had to dig up information, find information, and then find out how much money we got from the cash back. So starting with this lesson, we will practice other kinds of two-step word problems. Writing down the given information or drawing a picture is often helpful in solving these problems. Why might drawing a picture be helpful to us? Marshall?
Because we can look at the problem and see how to do it.
Yep, it maps out the problem a little bit better for us. We can see it, we can observe it. It's just not words and numbers. We can see it on the board, we can see it better. And this might help other people, but it might not help all the students. So we have to keep in mind that each student is learning different. So we might be visual learners, or we might just write it out, or we might just do it in our head. But this helps us see what we're doing wrong. This helps us start the problem, and it makes it easier on us. So example number one, Landon, do you want to read example number one for me?
Jim is 5 years older than Allie. Allie is 2 years younger than Blanca. Blanca is 9 years old. How old is Jim?
So how do we start this? What can we pull out right away from there? Maddox?
We can pull out that Blanca is 9 years old.
Blanca is 9 years old, so we can start with that. So I'll just draw just a stick figure for now, and this is Blanca. And how old did we say she was? 9 years old. All right, and our next, what can we pull out? What's our next step? Ruby, what is our next step? We'll subtract, or do we need to find out everybody's age first? So how old is Jim? How old does it give how old Jim is, or no? Well, read the first sentence in the problem.
Jim is 5 years older than Allie.
So we can't start with that because we don't know Allie yet. So then the next sentence, Ayana, what's the next sentence? Starting with Allie? Allie, yep, Allie is 2. Oh, right here. So could that be our next step? We know how old Blanca is, right? She's 9 years old. So what would be our next step? Could we draw Allie up here? So we can draw Allie. And how could we map this out? Draw it out. Ayana? 9 minus 2. What does that answer equal? 7? 7 years old? So we could also, this 9, we could just put B minus 2 for Blanca. That might help us too. So we know that Allie's 7 years old, and we know Blanca is 9 years old. So who are we missing? Gauge who we're missing in the word problem. Jim? And what does it say about Jim?
Jim is 5 years older than Allie.
So what do you think we're going to be doing with Jim's age?
We're going to add 5 on the Allie's.
And what gave it away? Why are we adding it?
Because he's 5 years older.
Older? Alright. And this was Jim. And it says Jim is 5 years older than Allie. So how old is Allie? Tammy? 7 years old. 7, what are we adding?
5.
What's my final answer here, Ruby?
There is 12.
12? So then we can reread the problem. Len, do you want to reread the problem for me? Yep.
Jim is 5 years old and Allie. Allie is 2 years younger than Blanca. Blanca is 9 years old. How old is Jim?
So do we have our answer? How old is Jim? Logan, how old is Jim?
12.
12? And so was it easier if we mapped it out and drew it up and broke it into different steps? Was it easier for us to see? Yeah, because we saw how old Blanca was, we pulled that out. And then our next step was Allie, we saw how old she was by looking at Blanca's age. And then our last step was what? Finding Jim's age? Alright, so that's an example of just drawing it out or making a picture. So this is easier for us to see, and it's easier for us if we screw up or make a mistake. It's easier for us to go back and check our work.